Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is June 13th, 2023, and Barcelona have given us an update in regards to their wage bill, and so far things are looking good. Also, it's reported that the club have signed the Brazilian wonder kid Vitor Roque, and finally Sofyan Amrabat has given Barcelona an ultimatum. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, it only takes a second, and in doing this, you'll be helping this small and humble channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. The link is down below in the description. Now, I'll begin with the good news that Barcelona have given us an update in regards to their wage bill. And things are looking good, but of course there's still plenty of work to do. Now, Barcelona have updated all of their club members in regards to their wage bill, and it seems that Barcelona have been able to reduce their wage bill so far to 530 million euros, down from 650 million euros at the beginning of the season. Now, this drop in the wage bill is thanks to some departures, such as the departure of Gerard Piqué, Sergio Busquets, and Jordi Alba. And it's also thanks to the offloading of Antoine Griezmann to Atletico de Madrid. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that these 530 million euro wage bill also includes 50 million euros from 5 players who are currently on loan and will be coming back to the club in the summer, such as Alex Collado, Samuel Umtiti, Clement Lenglet, Serginho Dest, and Gustavo Maya. So if Barcelona do end up offloading these 5 players during this summer, which that's exactly what the plan is since Xavi does not count on any of them, then Barcelona will be able to reduce their wage bill even further from 530 million euros to 480 million euros. Now, Barcelona have stated that their goal is to reduce the wage bill to around 450 to 470 million euros, and Barcelona think that this goal is very much achievable. And that's, of course, great news for the club, because once you take into consideration that the club had a wage bill of 650 million euros at the beginning of the season, and being able to reduce it to 450 million euros, that's a huge testament to the amazing job that Joan Laporta and his entire board of directors are currently doing in order to right Barcelona's finances. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that these 530 million euro wage bill is not just from the first team. This also includes 90 million euros from other Barcelona teams, such as the professional teams of the women's football team, the hockey and the basketball teams, and also La Masia. Now, to add to this great news, Barcelona have also announced that they have been able to recover the money that they lost as a result from their elimination from the Champions League. Now, Barcelona had computed in their budget around 20 to 22 million euros from the Champions League, hoping that they would qualify all the way to the quarterfinals. But since Barcelona were eliminated during the group stages, the club were only able to make 7 million euros out of the Champions League competition. So that ended in a 14 million euro loss for the club. Well, Barcelona have been able to make up the entire 14 million euros through new sponsorship deals that they have signed, such as the sponsorship deal with Philips. And that's, of course, great news for the club, because they're not going to have to compute any losses at the end of this fiscal year. So even though the financial situation at Barcelona is still a bit precarious and there's still plenty of work to do, it looks like the club are on the right track in order to recover financially. And that's all thanks to Laporta and his board of directors. Now, to add even more and more to this great news, it's been announced today by no other than Javi Miguel that Barcelona have signed the Brazilian wonder kid, Vitor Roque. Now, we've been talking about Vitor Roque for quite some time, because Barcelona have been tracking this kid for a while, because Barcelona are hoping to sign Vitor Roque as a substitute for Robert Lewandowski, with the goal that he would take over Lewandowski's spot once the Polish player leaves the club or decides to retire. But Barcelona have been in negotiation with Atletico Paranaense for quite some time, where the Brazilian club were asking for around 45 to 50 million euros. And after Barcelona assigned the task of signing Vitor Roque to Deco, he has been able to accomplish this mission, as it has been announced today that Barcelona have been able to get an agreement from both the player and his current club, Atletico Paranaense. That I've been saying for quite some time, if there's anybody in this world that they can accomplish this mission, is Deco, because he has a tight firm or a tight lock on the Brazilian market. And while he did not disappoint, as Deco was able to pull this operation, and Barcelona are only going to pay 40 million euros to the Brazilian club. And it's reported that it's going to be in a 3 installment plan over 3 seasons, which means that Barcelona are only going to have to account for around 13 to 14 million euros per season, which is of course going to help a lot when it comes to the financial fair play rule restrictions. Now it's reported that Vitor Roque will be signing for 5 seasons with Barcelona, and this signing is not going to be made official until Barcelona offloads several players in order to clear space on their wage bill. And it's reported that Barcelona need to offload around 2 to 3 players. So hopefully the club will be able to accomplish this as soon as possible so they can finalize the signing of this Brazilian wonder kid who's expected to be one of the best center forwards in the future. Now, as reported in yesterday's live stream, Jorge Mendes was set to meet with the board of directors of Barcelona. And whenever Jorge Mendes comes to the city of Barcelona, he leaves plenty of headlines behind, and today was no different as Jorge Mendes did meet with the board of directors, and now there's plenty of news to report about his meeting. Now the first news is that Jorge Mendes has communicated to Barcelona what Ansu Fati has been informing the club for quite some time, and that's that Ansu Fati does not want to leave the club this summer. He doesn't want to hear any offers, and he wants to stay in Barcelona where he believes that he can earn his starting spot on the first squad. Now, Jorge Mendes told Barcelona that he believes that Ansu Fati is a future Ballon d'Or winner, and he also pointed out the fact that Ansu Fati is the second highest scorer on the squad, despite not being a starter for most of the season. Now, this is of course a big problem for Barcelona because the club have decided to offload Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, and Frank Kessie in order to make space on their wage bill for the incoming new signings. And if Barcelona cannot offload Ansu Fati, they're gonna have to figure out what to do because again, they need to clear space on their wage bill in order to make signings during this summer transfer market. Now, it's reported that if Ansu Fati continues to insisting on not leaving the club, Barcelona could consider sending him on loan. That way, they can remove his salary, which is around 10 million euros from their wage bill, and while at the same time giving him more playing time somewhere else in hopes that he could recover his form to what it was before his multiple injuries. Now, the loan option is something that Barcelona have not made up their mind 100% yet. The club still want to offload Ansu Fati, especially since he is someone who came up through the academy, so his sale would be 100% pure profit for the club. So we're gonna have to see whether Ansu Fati will be able to withstand the pressure, not just from Xavi Hernandez and Barcelona, but also from his father and from his agent Jorge Mendes, all of whom want to take Ansu Fati to a different club. Now, another thing that Jorge Mendes discussed in this meeting, as it was expected, it was of course the signing of Ruben Neves, who Jorge Mendes has been trying to bring to Barcelona for quite some time, and where Ruben Neves has also been dying to come to Barcelona to join Xavi's team. Well, it seems that Barcelona have put their foot down and have told Jorge Mendes that they're not planning on signing Ruben Neves, because as I've reported many times before, Xavi Hernandez and his entire sporting staff have no plans of including Ruben Neves on their team. So for now, Barcelona have told Jorge Mendes that they don't want to sign Ruben Neves. So we're going to have to see what Jorge Mendes ends up doing because, again, he really wants to bring Ruben Neves to Barcelona, and Ruben Neves really wants to come to the club. But hopefully, Barcelona's will win, and we won't see Ruben Neves in the club because it makes no sense to bring someone who Xavi Hernandez doesn't count on. Now, another player that Barcelona discussed with Jorge Mendes during this meeting between the super agent and the board of directors is Joao Cancelo, who will be returning from his loan with Bayern Munich to Manchester City, where Bayern Munich refused to activate the option to buy worth 70 million euros, and where Manchester City would like to offload the player because Pep Guardiola does not count on the Portuguese fullback. Now, Barcelona made it clear to Jorge Mendes once again that if they are going to sign Joao Cancelo, it's only going to be on loan. However, Manchester City and Joao Cancelo would both prefer a permanent solution, so we're going to have to see whether Joao Cancelo and Manchester City agree to loan Joao Cancelo to Barcelona. Now, it is reported that Barcelona are not looking to make a huge investment into their right back position during the summer, and they want to wait until next season, where Deco has already mentioned the name of the Brazilian Wanderson to the club. So we're going to have to see whether Barcelona end up taking Joao Cancelo on loan, or whether they decide to keep Julian Araujo and wait for the signing of Wanderson next summer. Now, speaking of possible arrivals, Sofyan Amrabat has given an ultimatum to Barcelona to either sign him yet or he will be looking for a new club. Now, as I reported before, Sofyan Amrabat is a real option for Barcelona, an affordable option for Barcelona to replace Sergio Busquets in the pivot position. and the player has been dying to come to Barcelona ever since his transfer to the club failed in the winter transfer market. And it's reported that Sofyan Amrabat has already rejected an offer from Bayern Munich and even an offer from his own club to renew his contract with Fiorentina. Now, the reporter Ashraf Binayat, who's very close to Sofyan Amrabat's entourage, reported today that the player would like to determine his future in the upcoming days, and that if Barcelona don't approach the player or Fiorentina, that Sofyan Amrabat will decide to join a different club. Now, this seems to be an ultimatum for Barcelona, that if Barcelona do not make an approach to the player and his entourage, that Sofyan Amrabat will decide to leave for another club. So if Barcelona really want to sign the Moroccan midfielder, they're going to have to act fast, or they might end up missing out on a good signing that's affordable, because as reported before, Fiorentina have told Barcelona that they'd be willing to accept 30 million euros or 20 million euros plus a player. Now, speaking of midfielders, we will end today's video with the news that Joshua Kimmich has officially closed the door on the possibility of joining Barcelona, with some statements that he made to the German media outlet Bild, who are very close to Bayern Munich. Now, Joshua Kimmich said, "It was difficult not to come across the rumors. Generally, I'm not too invested in the rumors. I still have, as everyone knows, 2 years left on my contract, and we have big plans for those 2 years at Bayern." Well, there you have it, folks. Joshua Kimmich confirming what I've been saying for quite some time, that his possibility of arriving in Barcelona were nearly impossible. And today, Joshua Kimmich has officially closed that door, as he has made it, as he has said loud and clear that he wants to stay at the Bundesliga club. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.